hopefully. Okay, go ahead.
Namo, fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo, fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo, fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Okay. So let's go here. Let me see. Okay, let's we're done with the my reply, right? Yeah, last time we
Yeah, I know we went over it. I can't recall if we finished it, but I would believe if you say we did.
well, I think it's we talk much about his life, right?
Yes. I think there was even a link we followed, maybe. Like a link that led out of it, or no, was it just within the PowerPoint?
Oh, the link is go to the PowerPoint.
Okay.
To the next PowerPoint here, and
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah, he killed so many people, and he met the great teacher. It's Mapa, right?
Yeah.
And he also give him a lot of challenge, right? To purify himself. I mean, all the negative karma he my la vipa, right? And finally, he taught the the Dharma that means transmission of the Dharma to him, and he became the great teacher. And actually, in Tibet, they call him at the one lifetime to attend Buddha, to the Buddhahood. Um, yeah, and yeah, he would become his main linear order. I think very much. Yeah. And what did we learn from him? The story.
We talked about the karmic obstructions and how Marpa first gave him sort of ordeals or challenges to bring him to the place where he was ready to accept the teachings.
Build the tower out rock, right?
Yeah, seems pretty symbolic. You build it and take it down, build it and take it down. And then, but once he was ready, he was very fast and very gifted in the practice. Yeah, and I can't, it's the passages were fairly brief. I can't think of anything too much.
Hmm. Well, yeah, because this is it's a short summary but I think it's, the story is more than that. But I could not be able to find one that would more into it. But the main idea is basically it's with his intelligence, right? He can be able to practice and destroy all the bad karma that he prayed, and and he also be later on he becomes so famous to widely stress the teaching, right? To all I think in the Tibet. So and that is the I think the motivation is also come from the Bodhicitta, that because the Tibetan is very they are they are purely focused on the Bodhicitta practice. So that means it's that motivation of help him to purify the evil that he had in the past. It's very tough. Okay, we can go here. Go ahead and read this one for me.
The excellence and benefits of bodhicitta, scriptural citations, benefits of bodhicitta. The original verse. Bodhicitta, the awakened mind, is known in brief to have two aspects. First, aspiring bodhicitta in intention, then active bodhicitta, practical engagement. The extensive benefits of bodhicitta were explained to the Bodhisattva Sudana by Buddha Maitreya in Stocks in Array Sutra. In Sanskrit, that's called the Gandhavyuha. In the conclusion to this 14th verse, Shantideva advises those who wish to learn about these many advantages to consult that famous Mahayana scripture.
Okay. What do you learn? What do you understand from the verse above?
Yes, so it's distinguishing these two aspects of bodhicitta. First, the bodhicitta of intention should be where we initially develop bodhicitta and have the wish to help living beings. And then this other stage being the active bodhicitta, where we actualize that wish. We begin to make choices, take actions to actually engage in the practice of it in a way that does help living beings around us, where maybe even the intention aspect may subtly help those around us, because we're going to be much less likely to do something to harm anyone. But then if we actually like practically engage in helping, then it'll be much more obvious the benefits to the people around us.
Okay, let's do the chapter 17 from the Flower Dome Sutra. So we will learn more into it. Okay, all right. Let's hold on. Okay, go ahead and start for me.
In the Flower Adornment Sutra, chapter 17, the merit and virtue from first bringing forth the mind. World systems in the East, doing so for one kalpa, and afterwards.
Sorry. Maybe.
Okay.
Well, let me see. Oh, man, okay, here. Yeah, stop for me.
At that time, the heavenly ruler Chakra asked Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva, disciple of the Buddha, what is the measure of the merit and virtue attained when a bodhisattva first brings forth the Bodhi mind? Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva said, "This principle is deep and profound. It is difficult to express and to know. It is difficult to discriminate and difficult to believe and understand. It is difficult to be certified to it and difficult to practice. It is difficult to penetrate and difficult to consider. It is difficult to measure and difficult to enter.
Right.
Although this is the case, I have received the Buddha's awesome spiritual power and will explain this for you. Disciple of the Buddha, suppose there is a person who uses all kinds of musical instruments to make offerings to all the living beings in Asamkhya world systems in the East, doing so for one kalpa, and afterwards he teaches those living beings to purely uphold the 5 precepts. Then he does the same in the south, west, north, the intermediate directions above and below. Disciple of the Buddha, what is your opinion? Does this person have much merit and virtue?
Good statement.
Okay. So the heavenly ruler, Chakra, who's in the Triastrimsha heaven,
Right.
my recollection, is asking this Bodhisattva Dharma wisdom, what's the measure of, it sounds like the Bodhicitta of intention.
Yeah, that's right.
First bringing forth of Bodhi mind. And
Right.
so Dharma wisdom is setting up an analogy, and before setting up the analogy, emphasizes how deep and profound bringing forth the intention of bodhicitta is. And, you know, it's because it's like a key that unlocks so many doors. It is that, like, the way through that makes, like, it's maybe the string that all the beads are placed upon, is that the seed of Buddhas, like the Buddha wishing to, or Siddhartha initially wishing to ease the sufferings of all living beings, was what set him out. And that's the pure motivation, the pure intention. And like we talked about yesterday, how some principles can seem kind of ordinary, but are actually profound states. That I think when someone really like truly relates to bodhicitta consciously, that is that's like what Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva is indicating in that paragraph there, about just how profound of a state the arising of bodhicitta is. So, and then he states that he's all of it's very difficult to measure and to know, to understand these things, but because he has the Buddha's awesome spiritual powers, he'll explain it for him. So he's not putting it on his personal intellect or ability, but on the Buddha, the power of the Buddha. And he's setting up the analogy now where he's using these practices that are known to be virtuous, meritorious practices, like making offerings of music to living beings and teaching living beings to maintain the 5 precepts. And those things are known to be very beneficial things. And then I think later he's comparing it. I think we've discussed this one in the past, so that later he like says, it's nothing compared to, it's like a grain of sand if bodhicitta is a beach, basically. Like it's just like, that is like a single grain of sand compared to the beach that bodhicitta is. So here he's just beginning to set up the analogy using something that is like really impressive already. It's a kalpa of doing all these things. It's obviously very impressive, but if those people haven't attained bodhicitta, then how long will they maintain the 5 precepts? And if the music may be pleasant for them at the time that it's played, but once the music is done playing, if the people haven't attained bodhicitta, then they're not firmly set on the path.
And the 10 direction, right? It did,
yeah.
The 10 direction. And I told you the story about the Buddha, the Ananda, Venerable Ananda. One time he asked the Buddha, when is your first bringing for the mind, right? The Bodhicitta mind. Right?
Mhm.
And the Buddha said that very, very long time ago, right? When he's still a common human. And he and his friend commit a lot of bad karma. And after they die, right, they go to hell, right? And in the hell, there was a demon king. He sit on the train. The train had run with the chocolate, right? And actually, this Jew here have to fool the train, just like the animal fool the cart, right? And and the demon king is using the steel uh, stick and whip them so badly, right? To torture them, right? And
Mhm.
that means the former life of the Buddha saw his friend next to him that looked like his friend is almost not be able to endure the pain. And he stopped right there and he went in front of the demon king and said, "Sir, would you be easy, a little bit easy on my friend?" You know what? That triggered the anger of the demon king, and he whipped the steel stick from top to from the head top all the way down, and that means he died instantly. That means the former life of the Buddha. And because of that, he gave up. He gave up the hell body and have the heavenly body, right? So when he reborn into the heaven, and usually the heaven being first time they born into the heaven, they ask themselves, what kind of good deed that I have done that bring me here? So they can use their spiritual eye to be able to see it, their past life. Yes, he saw that he just came from the hell. And what trigger is his compassion. Just a thought of compassion to his friend. With that thought, that means the constant state of the compassion. And when he died with that constant state of compassion, that's why he be able to have the heavenly body. That means the consciousness is very important. You remember that for when a person died, right? The criteria for what are the criteria for them to be reborn into the next destiny,
Into a negative destiny.
to the new life, right?
Oh, what directs them? So it'd be their consciousness and their karma.
Yeah, the constant and the power of the karma. But usually the power of the karma is the one, right? Because our consciousness state most of the time, but by near death, it's almost it we don't have that strong state of the mind. Most of us, right?
Mhm.
Only special case, and this is one of the special case that he have that strong mind, and that's why it's very important for the near death person if we be able to help them to have this kind of strong consciousness state of the mind with the positive direction of love and kindness, compassion toward, and with that state of the mind, he will not fall into the evil, right? Period. Only go up. Doesn't matter what kind of karma that he did in the past. So, and also,
There's a notification for you. I love you.
he realized that if I use this kind of consciousness to practice, one day I will become Buddha, and he did. You see, and now can you compare the story that I just told you with this teaching? How do we connect? Okay, you can go ahead and continue read on this thing, then you can help me to connect.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could compare them. Do you want me to wait until after I read?
Yeah. The heavenly ruler.
Okay, yeah. The heavenly ruler Chakra said, "Disciple of the Buddha, only the Buddha can know this person's merit and virtue. All others are unable to fathom it." Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva said, "Disciple of the Buddha, this person's merit and virtue, when compared to the merit and virtue of the Bodhisattva who has first brought forth the mind, does not equal 100th part of it, nor 1,000th part of it, nor 100,000th part, and so forth, up to the point that it does not equal 100 millionth part, nor a billionth part, nor 100 billionth part, nor a trillionth part, nor a nayuta 100 millionth part, nor a billionth nayuta part, nor 100 billionth nayuta part, nor a trillionth nayuta part, nor a numerable part, nor a kalanth part, nor a calculable part, nor an analogical part, nor even a part in an Upanishad part, does not reach even the smallest part."
You got to stop right there.
Yeah, so the giving rise to bodhicitta being the seed of Buddhahood, and also being like the seed of Buddhahood for one personally, but also for others as well. Like the compassion of the Buddha gave rise to all of these other beings attaining the Buddha way. So it's like a fire that spreads. Like bodhicitta can be like a one torch that lights many torches. And if an individual does those other deeds but has not given rise to bodhicitta, well, then it's going to be limited. Those deeds, once they're done, and they don't go they don't go past a certain level, like we mentioned with the previous paragraph. So how it relates to the story of the Buddha initially giving rise to bodhicitta is like in the hell realms. I think if we have compassion, then the hell realms can't really be the hell realms anymore, in a sense. And like a compassionate mind is not compatible with remaining in the hell realms. And the Avalokiteshvara, some of the verses that go along with the mantra beforehand, it's like, when you look at the boiling pit disappears. When you look at the mountain of swords like disappears. Not getting the exact words, but that if we have a compassionate heart and a desire to help other beings, then one, we would never end up in the hells. But if somehow we had put that compassion aside and ended up in the hells, that it's a liberation from that, because we're no longer engaged in just thinking of our own suffering. And yeah, how to I don't know that I have more to say on it. That giving rise to bodhicitta can free one from the hells. And exactly, I think the reason why it's kind of like, because the reason one is in the hells is because an absence of compassion for other beings. In a sense, that's what leads to the actions that land one in hell. So it's like the goal has been achieved. If someone through their suffering realizes the value of compassion, then they're done. They have their karma has been exhausted.
So can you give me the specific example in our daily life? What did hell mean?
Oh yeah. Not forgiving people. holding on to resentment,
Mhm.
constantly craving for things that will never fully satisfy us, being in conflict with other people because they cause us some sort of trouble, or they keep us from getting what we want, fighting with people regularly, not having a good relationship with our parents or with our family or our wife or husband. We can be stuck in these situations where we just constantly have suffering just over and over.
Okay. I will give you I will tell you the story. It's a real story. But let's read through this few more, then we go.
Disciple of the Buddha, moreover, putting this analogy aside, suppose there is a person who uses all kinds of musical instruments to make offerings to all the living beings in 10 Asamkhaya world systems in the 10 directions for 100 kalpas. And afterwards he teaches those living beings to cultivate the 10 paths of good, making offerings in the same way for 1,000 kalpas. He then teaches them to dwell in the 4 jhanas. After passing through 100,000 kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the 4 unlimited minds. Uh, there we go. Oh, you went back one.
Okay. We stop right here, right? Oh.
Something funny's happening. Those are the same.
Oh, I see, I see. I copy. Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. Right now. Okay.
Passing through 100 million kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the 4 formless samadhis. Then after passing through 1 billion kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the Srotapana fruit. Then after passing through 100 billion kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the Sakradagamin fruit. Then after passing through 1 trillion kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the Anagamin fruit. Then after passing through 100 Nayuta million kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the Arhat fruit. Then after passing through 100,000 trillion kalpas, he teaches them to dwell in the path of a Pratyeka Buddha. Disciple of the Buddha, what is your opinion? Isn't this person's merit and virtue a lot? The heavenly ruler said, disciple of the Buddha, only the Buddha can know this person's merit and virtue.
Okay. Do you know this the Sota Pana?
So these are the stages of arhatship.
Yeah, this
And
is swim enter.
yeah, stream enter, yeah.
Swim enter. And this is the second stage of the Arhat, right? This one right here, they have 7 lines left
Yeah.
to become Arhat. This one is they have only 1 line left, right, to become Arhat. And this one right here, that means no return, non-returner, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one is one they die, right? They go directly to the fire above, Adobe heaven in the form realm, remember?
Mm-hmm.
That is the one. That means the last 5 heaven plan in the form realm. Remember, we have 18 plan, right? In the form realm.
Okay, 18.
Right, the first 3 for the first state of the jhana, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the next 3 is for the second one. The next 3 is for the third one, and the 4 is for the fourth one. That's 13 together, and plus the last 5 we call Adobe pure Adobe. Heaven is for the non-returner Arhat. I mean the third state of Arhat. Okay. Okay. So and over here, do you know what is the 4 unlimited mind?
These aren't this is not the one of like sympathetic joy, loving kindness.
Mhm.
Oh, it is those
Yeah.
4. Oh, because those are commonly used as a means to generate to cultivate bodhicitta.
right? The loving kindness, compassion, and synthetic joy, and the last one is the detachment. What do we call? Do you know?
Equanimity.
Equality, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so that are the four. So can you tell me briefly about what you just read?
About what?
Just tell me what you just read. Briefly about summarize what you just.
Yeah. So this is an even more extreme example that Bodhisattva Dharma wisdom gives. And it's basically multiplying the deeds in this comparison to the merit and virtue of bodhicitta. So in the first one, it lasted for a kalpa, and there was teaching people to keep the 5 precepts and then the playing of the music. But in this one, it's way beyond that. Like I think it was 10 asankaya kalpas of world systems, and with the musical instruments playing, and then teaching them not just the 5 precepts, but the 10 precepts, and which would cause rebirth in the heavens, potentially, likely, and continuing over this really long period of time to then progress through the 4 jhanas, those 4 unlimited minds, and then those states of arhatship. So
And
it's
even go
really,
to Pachika Buddha, right?
yeah, yes, and then all the way to Pratyeka Buddha. So it's really trying to impress that, like, that by itself is only the Buddha can comprehend, can measure that amount of merit and virtue, is what Heavenly Ruler Chakra says. So how much the less could we even measure that? But that immeasurable merit and virtue is not as much as initially giving rise to Bodhicitta. So I think it's just really telling us that this state of even just the intention of Bodhicitta is far more profound than I think we have the ability to appreciate. Like it is tremendous, because this example is fantastic, amazing, like beyond what I could comprehend as far as effort and time and accomplishment. And so to say that the arising of bodhicitta is even greater is quite the statement.
Okay, we can discuss that more into detail later. I want you to go through the whole thing before we. So basically, that means this person has spent so much time, right? Numerous carpet lifetime to help people start from the teach them how to play the musical instrument, to make an offering to the Buddha, right, of the 10 direction, and also later on teach them uphold the 5 precepts. That means to become more moral, right, and moreover, that means teach them to do the 10 good deeds, right, and also go to a very lengthy time, teach them to attend the first stage of the meditation, second stage, and third stage, and fourth stage, and so on. And even help them to practice loving kindness, compassion, and also the sympathy, joy, and also equanimity, right? Is that how you pronounce?
Equanimity.
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 Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, equanimity.
Okay, that and also this, and also go to even more time, right? Pass to 100 million kappa. That means a very long time, and teach them to gain the first state of the arahat. That means so tan and pana. That means the stream enter, and teach and also go to billion kappa, 100 billion kappa, and teach them to attain the second state of Arhat and go and even move on a very long time to help them to attain up to the Arhat and Pasika Buddha. What do they miss?
Bodhisattva.
Yeah. Why you see that they don't include Bodhisattva? Okay, good. Keep going and keep going. The heavenly
Dharma wisdom,
rule.
Bodhisattva said.
Okay.
Yeah. Disciple of the Buddha, this person's merit and virtue, compared with the merit and virtue of the Bodhisattva who has first brought forth the mind, does not come up to 100th part, nor 1,000th part, nor 100,000th part, up to and including not one part in an Upanishad. Why is this? Disciple of the Buddha, when all Buddhas first bring forth the mind, they do not do so merely for the sake of making offerings of all kinds of musical instruments to all the living beings in the Asamkhaya world systems in the 10 directions. Doing so for 100 kalpas, up to and including 100,000 Nayuta million kalpas, they do not bring forth the Bodhi mind merely to teach all those living beings to cultivate the 5 precepts, the 10 paths of good karma, or to teach them to dwell in the 4 dhyanas, the 4 unlimited minds, the 4 formless concentrations, or to teach them to attain the Srotapana fruit, the Sakradagamin fruit, the Anagamin fruit, the Arhat fruit, or the Pratyeka Buddha path. But it is for the sake of causing the seed nature of the thus come ones to never be cut off. It is for the sake of pervading all world systems. It is for the sake of crossing over and liberating the living beings in all world systems. It is for the sake of totally knowing the coming into being and destruction of all world systems. It is for the sake of totally knowing the defilement and purity of living beings within all world systems. It is for the sake of totally knowing the purity of the self-nature of all world systems. It is for the sake of totally knowing the likes, afflictions, and habits in the minds of all living beings. It is for the sake of totally knowing how all living beings die here, are reborn elsewhere. It is for the sake of totally knowing all living beings' roots and expedient methods.
Good. Stop.
It is.
Stop there.
Yeah. This, I mean, most excellent, right? And so saying that the previous example of all of those deeds not being the smallest part of giving rise of the merit that comes from the first of giving rise to bodhicitta, and then the explanation of that, one thing that it really says to me is, if I plant a normal seed and I put it in the ground, I may or may not get a tree. That seed may or may not grow because the ground may not be fertile. It may not get enough light. It may not get enough water. But what this implies is that the seed of bodhicitta draws to it, like once one gives rise to bodhicitta, that's a tipping point. That if one sincerely gives rise to it, then all of these other things will certainly follow. The desire to liberate living beings from every last ounce of suffering, not just to take them up to Pratyeka Buddha, but to completely exhaust the, everything, and to understand the meaning of everything, and to be fully developed in Buddhahood. That the giving rise to it assures that those things will come to pass. Because if one could give rise to it and then turn around and go back to like forgetting about other people and just caring about themselves, then there's no way that this merit and virtue would be guaranteed. Because if someone could give rise to it sincerely, and then that seed could wither and they could go back to being normal, then this merit and virtue wouldn't be certain. Whereas in the other example, the merit and virtue was certain, it was done if someone does these things. But this isn't saying if someone does these actions of bodhicitta, they're saying if they just give rise to it. And so it suggests something very profound to me, that like if bodhicitta, giving rise to it, is like planting a seed, that the soil, the sun, and the water that nourish bodhicitta, those aren't dependent upon factors that can't be there. Like the factors that nurture bodhicitta, it seems like the Buddha nature nurtures bodhicitta once it's given rise to, that there can be no external obstructions that could hinder the development of bodhicitta if someone has truly given rise to it, because it can overcome any obstruction. And then the merit is so tremendous is because it's, it consumes all suffering for the one who develops it and for all of the beings they have affinities with, and doesn't have a limit. Like those other actions in the example would still have a limit compared to what bodhicitta is.
And you say, oh, sorry. You, okay, hold on. They say they do not bring for the body mind merely to teach all the living beings, all those living beings to cultivate the 5 precepts, the 10 paths of good karma, or teach them to dwell in the 4 dhyana, the 4 unlimited mind, the 4 formless concentration, or to teach them to attend all the 4 states of the Arhat, as well as the Pasika Buddha. That means at the beginning, they do not have the bodhicitta intention, right? And that means they only teach up to them, up to that. And that means the people who attend the Arhat and the Pasika Buddha, what is the end result?
Eventually, they can go on to attain the bodhisattva way, but initially,
No. I mean, so what is after they attend those states, what happened to them?
Nirvana, and they don't have to be reborn.
Yeah. So in the in the Adornment Flower Sutra, the Buddha teaching, it distinguishes the difference between the Arhat and the Buddha or Bodhisattva. Arhat or Pasika Buddha, that means we call the small vehicle or the middle vehicle, and they are one they attend the Arhat or Pasika Buddha. That means they enter into the nirvana to enjoy that nirvana state, and they have no motivation to benefit living beings after that, right? The reason is why is that? Because the Theravada teaching, that means they see all the living beings. It's a delusion, right? It's not real. Therefore, if all the living beings and everything is delusion, it's not real. Then what for? And that means no motivation for them to do anything. Because they say that it's not real, why should I attach to it? Does it make sense? That means any kind of the thought arrive with the false thinking, they will shut down, right? They will not attach to it. They do not cling to it. That means that will cut off all the good source to benefit the living being. The Bodhisattva and the Buddha, they are different. They also see all the living beings. It's a delusion. We call delusion, right? Is that true? Or illusion? Which one?
Yeah, delusion and illusion are pretty closely. I think you could use either one for it. Illusion is like something you see and you're seeing accurately, but it's not what it appears. So like a mirage could be an illusion, like a mirage in a desert, or a magician could create an illusion. But a delusion is we believe something about what we see that's not true, that what we believe and how we see the situation, our thinking about it, isn't true.
Yeah, that means it. Yeah, we can you either one, I guess. Illusion.
So like, say there's a child who is mean and hurts other children, but the parents say, oh, my child's not mean, he doesn't hurt anyone, it's an accident. The parent is then delusional.
Yeah.
Would be an example, yeah.
Yeah. So the Buddha and the Bodhisattva also saw all the living beings. It's a illusion, right? But at the same time, they know that all the living beings, they see everything is real. It's not illusion. That is the problem. And therefore, due to that, it initiates the Bodhicitta arise from the Bodhisattva. And that's why it's a motivation for them to practice to develop the loving kindness and compassion, to practice the Bodhisattva way, to help living beings, at least help them to transform them into see things real to unreal. That is the first step. Just like the one who doing all these things right now. You see that? Up to Pacceka Buddha. That is a good thing, but that's not what Bodhisattva want. They want to make sure all beings, every living being have the Buddha nature. That means every living being will become a Buddha. And that's how the Dharma, the Buddha teaching will dwell in the world for a long time. And you see that from the Zen tradition, linear, right? Lineage. From the Mahakassapa up to now, we have only 45 patriarchs. Not many, right? But what is the purpose of the patriarch? Do you know why? What is the purpose?
It's to carry on. There's the mind-to-mind seal from master to student that certifies the enlightened mind. And so it's keeping the Dharma in the world, not just through the sutras, but through the enlightened mind that can like fully elaborate on all of the subtlety and meanings within the sutras.
So this is important, right? So if the Dharma is still dwell in the world, that means it benefits numerous living beings. It's not easy. And you also form the ring four, the Bodhicitta, the Bodhicitta mind, just like that means the Bodhicitta intention. It's just the intention without practicing yet, but it already gives a very powerful message. And now here, the Buddhists also say that the whole purpose, where is it? Okay. Why is this, right? The disciple of the Buddha, when all the Buddha first bring forth the mind, they do not do so merely for the sake of making offering of all kind of musical instruments to all living beings, so and so in the 10 direction, doing so for 100 kappa, up to include 100,000 Nayuta, million kappa. They do not win for the body mind, merely to teach all those living beings to cultivate 5 precepts, 10 part of good karma, or to teach them to dwell in the 4 dhyana, the 4 unlimited mind, and the 4, and so on and so on. But it's either for the sake of causing the seek nature of the third come one to never be cut off. That means that means the teaching or the Dharma never be cut off. That is important. Because one we help them to reach Arhat or Pachika Buddha, they no use for the new generation, for order. And the Dharma will be cut up right there. Right? It's for the sake of pervading our world system. That means our world system. It's for the sake of crossing over and liberate the living being in our world system. Liberate. It's for the sake of totally knowing the coming into being and destruction of our world system. That means the world system. It also go to the fourth state, creation, right? Staying, that means dwell, right? Staying, deteriorate, and become nothing. That is the fourth state of the world system. That means they want to know all those things. That means the one who bring forth the body mind, they want to know all those things. It's for the sake of totally knowing the defilement and purity of living being within the world system. It's for the sake of totally knowing the purity of self nature of our world system, right? And so on and so on. And also totally knowing the like, the affliction, and the habit in the mind of our living being. It's for the sake of totally knowing how our living being die here and reborn elsewhere. It's for the sake of totally knowing our living being root and experience method. Why do they want to know all these things? But why over here, the Dharma of wisdom did not say anything about the one who bring forth the body mind to practice. They didn't tell that, but only say that they want to know this. They want to know all these things.
Oh, yeah, so then they can effectively help living beings, like flawlessly guide living beings.
That means this is their mission. Right? This is their mission to fulfill. They want to fulfill this. And how long? No, it doesn't matter. Time, no problem. As long as they can reach and they can be able, so they can be able to have all experience means to help living beings in all state, regardless. And this is for the sake totally knowing the activity in the mind of all living beings. It is for the sake of totally knowing all living beings, wisdom in 3 periods of time, and it's for the sake totally knowing our Buddha state of equality and bring for the unsurpassed body mind. That means they want to know up to how to get there, to the Buddhahood. So they can help the living being to get to the highest one is unsurpassed body mind. That means the Buddhahood. And that's how we be able to repay the kindness and the compassionate of the Buddha to ensure the Dharma always forever last in the world. Yeah, but right now, let me give you the story that it happened real. It is a real story. At our temple, right? We every day we have the after school program from Monday to Thursday from 4 to 6:30. All the kids the parent bring the kid here, and we have. Sometimes I do have a tutor, and sometimes I do not have. So I'm the one who do the tutoring anyway. Anyway, okay, all kind of kids, and there is one of the family. They have 3 kids, and the oldest girl is she is 6th grade right now. The next one is the boy, it's 4th grade. The youngest one is the 2nd grade. And you know what? The oldest girl, when she go to the temple, she did not want to enter into the temple. Or wherever the mom wants her to do, she do exactly opposite. Okay, and it's also negatively affect the 2 boys. And the middle boy, he become nasty too. The reason is I also inquiry to understand why it happened. And the mom told me that she in the past, in past few years, both parents is very busy to do the business. And they have a nail salon. And they did not have time for the kids. And every time when they in the car, if the children is fighting or argument, whatever, she always yell without teaching. And you know what? The girl become she holding the hatred and resentment against them. And that's the my state is terrible. And she always watching all the violent movie, and sometimes she cut herself, and sometimes she want to commit suicide. This is the hell. And that means the mom hope that the kid can go to the temple. Hopefully they can change. No, not easy, not that easy. So when they bring the 3 kids, right? And you know what? She can, and what she do is, she asked one of the other parents to pick her children from school and drop at the temple. Hopefully they will without her, so they go into the temple. No, but the girl definitely did not want to go into the temple. But the 2 boys still going. But the middle boy it's still not obey, right? But he a little bit nasty, but it's okay. So hopefully the 2 boys that, but the young one is still okay. At least we can, and I told her that, so don't let them go together. Let the 2 boys come to the temple. Keep the girl at her nail salon shop, okay? So, and hopefully the 2 boys still okay for some time and not been affected by the sister. If and yesterday in my class, the Vietnamese Dharma class, in the evening, one of the lay person Buddhist, she asked me that she had one of the next few. Now she went to California and visit that family, and she stayed there for some time. And she noticed that their boy is about 20 something, and he addicted to games totally. And you know what? Whatever the parent want him to do, he angry very quickly. Because the mind become addictive and it will become depressed. And that's why any kind of changing that state, the mind, he will draw the syndrome, right? That's what you call?
Yeah, you can call it syndrome.
It's really terrible. And how do we be able to help them to get out of that? Not easy at all. And another story is, in the past, I have my aunt. She, I think it's 2007, I think. Maybe 2010, I think, somewhere around it. My aunt, she have a very deep depression because when she came here in the United States, and wherever she want to go to work, and they don't keep her for long, right? And she become what you call lack of confidence, esteem, self-esteem, right? Um, and and for a while she went into the deep depression, and you know what? She cut up all the and plus many other things too. She cut up all the communication. She isolate from everyone. She doesn't want. She did not want to allow anyone. I mean, relative, nephew or niece, one from her other family member come and visit her. No, they cut all up. She also did not want to go to the grocery store, and did not want to do anything, not even cooking. And sometimes she sits by herself and talk to herself and come up with the crazy plan to accuse, for example, her, that means my uncle, she go to work, and you know what? My aunt, she accused him that he commit adultery. But at nowhere, you know what? In nowhere. It's crazy. And it's happened for a long time. And what I did it, I saw that. So what I did it, luckily, I still keep a very good connection with her. I'm the only nephew that she wants to talk. And so every week, right, I went down there, and my uncle and I and her, we do the praying, recite the sutra, and we have the lunch together every Sunday. For maybe 8 years. Eventually, she been recovered, and now she back to almost normal, 90%.
Nice.
The thing they need is, in order to help the depressed person, they need love and care from others, especially the family member, and never say any negative to them, and never accuse them for anything. And beside that, her children that I help, I teach her daughter, and now she, I began to teach her since she 8th grade, and now she just graduated from with the operational therapy. Yeah, last year, and her son become a very good son. In the past, he drinking a lot, but now no more. He become truly Buddhist practice, and that's why give her more confidence for herself, and that's why it also release a lot of stress. See that? bring the health state, right? A person in the health state outward. It's not easy. No, not easy at all. And when we involved in doing this, never look at time. No, time is nothing. All we care is just like I want to know all living beings, right? In whatever state that they experience. So we can directly involve and help them until they be able to recover. And just like the Bodhisattva said that they willing to go to hell to rescue people. Well, don't wait until we die and go to hell. No, in this world right now. If we don't have the right state of the mind, and just like the one in the deep depression, this is hell for them. Right? But if we truly, and I also a few people that give me a feedback that before they that one of the ladies, she now is 70, I think. She said that before she learned the Buddhism with me, right? She at home. Well, before that, she always go to the temple and recite the sutra. Normally, but she in her family, she have between her and her husband always have argument, even with her children, and that means the environment she live is very terrible. I mean mentally terrible. Mentally very terrible, and that's why mentally very terrible. And after she learned Buddhism with my class for some time, and with the same environment, the environment is not changed, but her perspective, the view, is changing. And you know what? She not suffer that much. Before, she said that if I want to jump on the car and press the pedal, and wherever they go, even kill myself, it's okay. But now she said it's okay, not too bad. You see, hell, before it hell, now it's not hell.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the state of the mind, when you have that light up, the darkness, it will go away. And how do we keep that torch and light up? It's a different thing. It's not easy. And you see that in this country, it's not easy, just like you said, for the Western people, listen to the Dharma weekly. They come in, they run out. We scare them already. Anyway, it's okay. That's right. All right. We stop here. Today it's too much. Okay. What can we do? Okay. Any question?
No, Thai.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Thai. Have a nice night.
Thank you.